Order of operations. Order of operations tells you which operations you should do first when you have an equation that has several different operations in it. PEMDAS tells us the order in which we should complete the operations. You may have heard the saying, "Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally." You may have even met Aunt Sally last year in Miss E's class. Well, those same rules apply again in 7th grade and so on until you graduate from high school and into college. Parentheses is the very first place that you go when you are going to work with order of operations. The only difference about 6th grade and 7th grade is that in 7th grade you might see 2 sets of parentheses. One outer parentheses and then the inner parentheses. You're always going to start on the inside and work your way to the outside parentheses. Next is exponents. You'll complete exponents second. Next, you have multiplication and division. Now, multiplication and division are next to each other because we multiply and divide depending upon which one is first. If multiplication comes first, then you're going to multiply first. If division comes before multiplication from left to right, which is the order in which we read, then you would divide first. And then add and subtract is last. Again, whichever comes first from left to right is the one that you're going to do first. Multiplication and division, addition and subtraction are the same way. So say that subtraction comes first from left to right, then you would subtract first. Okay, let's try some of these out. 5 times, in parentheses, 3 plus 4, minus 2 times 8. Okay, we're going to do whichever comes first. So PEMDAS, let's think. What do we do first? Parentheses. P stands for parentheses. Now we're going to use what's called the ice cream cone method. I want you to make an ice cream cone out of this. Last year, Miss E had you write out the P, the E, M, D, A, S, and do it in that order. This year, I'm asking that you don't do that. We're going to use the ice cream cone method because when you're using inner and outer parentheses, just writing out PEMDAS is not enough to get you through the process. Okay, let's start with parentheses. We have 3 plus 4. So 3 plus 4 is 7. And we start in parentheses, so I'm going to go ahead and write 7. After I write 7, I'm going to write the whole equation back out. Now, after parentheses comes exponents. There are no exponents, so I don't have to worry about it. Next is multiply. Well, I have 2 places where multiplication is taking place here, so I have to look at both of those. Let's start from left to right. I have 5 times 7, which is 35. And I have 2 times 8, which is 16. Now all that's left is 35 minus 16. 35 minus 15 would be 20. So let's take one more away from 20 and we have 19. This is called the ice cream cone method because in the end it looks like an ice cream cone. Number 2. 6 minus 2, and then I have brackets. 4 plus 5, and inside parentheses. 2 plus 1, and ending the brackets. Brackets are a second set of parentheses. So in this example, we have inner parentheses and outer parentheses. You always start on the inside. 2 plus 1 is 3. You need to write it all back out each and every time that you do one step. So we've done the inside parentheses. Now we're going to look at the outer parentheses. Looking all the way across, inside of these parentheses, there's 4 plus 5 times 3. So we have multiplication and addition. Which one comes first? Well, PEMDAS says parentheses, exponents, multiply and divide come before add and subtract. So we're going to multiply next. 5 times 3 is 15. And now I have 6 minus 2, and in brackets, 4 plus 15. Now I need to finish up inside of the brackets because, like I said, brackets are our second set of parentheses. So we always do it in parentheses first. 4 plus 5 is 19. Or excuse me, 4 plus 15 is 19. Now we have 6 minus 2, and in brackets, 19. Now, 6 minus 2, a lot of students would go ahead and think that that's what they're going to do first, but that's incorrect because 2 beside the 19 or beside a number in parentheses would mean multiplication. Which one do we do first? Do we subtract or do we multiply the 19 and the 2 first? Multiplication comes first, so we're going to multiply first. 2 times 19 is 38. I'm going to write this over to the side since I'm running out of space. And now I have 6 minus 38. Well, I'm adding a positive and a negative number here. 6 minus 38. If you get to this point and you want to say switch, you can. Number 3. In brackets, we have 8 minus 2 minus, in parentheses, 8 minus 2, and end brackets, times 3 divided by 3 squared. Well, we start with parentheses first. Inner parentheses comes first. So 8 minus 2 is 6. Our next step is to complete what is inside of the brackets. So this is all subtraction all the way across. So I'm just going to go ahead and subtract from left to right. 8 minus 2 is 6, and 6 minus 6 is 0. So I'm going to go ahead and put 0 inside of the brackets. And then multiply by 3 divided by 3 squared. Now that I have 0 inside of the brackets, I'm going to look at what's next. Parentheses, I'm done with. I've done everything that I can do inside of the parentheses. So now I have 3 squared. 3 squared means 3 times 3. 3 times 3 is 9. I'm going to again point an arrow over to the side and complete this to the side. So now I have 0 times 3 divided by 9. Let's multiply. 0 times 3 . So our answer for this one is just 0. Okay, I want you to pause it on this page, and I want you to try these out using order of operations. Number 1, 2, and in brackets, 13 minus 1 plus 6 in parentheses, and then the end of the brackets. We're going to start with the inner parentheses. 1 plus 6 is 7. And I write the whole thing back out. Now I have 13 minus 7, which is 6. And I write it all back out. Now I have 2 times 6, which is 12. I'm done. I have my ice cream cone. Number 2. 100 minus 4, and in parentheses 7 minus 4, and on the outside cubed. I'm going to start in parentheses. 7 minus 4 is 3. Now I'm done with parentheses. I go to exponents. 3 cubed is 3 times 3, which is 9, times 3, which is 27. Four times 27, well, 4 times 25 is 100. And 4 times 2 is 8. So 4 times 27 is 108. I just used distributive property. $100 minus 108 is just -8. Bless you. Number 3. We have 3 plus, and in brackets we have 3 plus, parentheses 9 minus 5, and on the outside squared, in brackets. 9 minus 5 is 4. Now that I'm done with what's inside of these parentheses, I have to work inside of this parentheses. Well, an exponent is inside of the parentheses, so I'm going to go ahead and deal with it. 4 squared is 16. And you have to write the whole thing back out every time. I'm looking for the process. I want you to write it all out each time. 3 plus 16 is 19. And 3 plus 19 is 22. Last one, number 4. Number 4, we have brackets, parentheses. 11 minus 2 is 9. Squared, because exponents come next, inside a parentheses, since that exponent is inside the parentheses, I can go ahead and do that. 9 squared is 81. +7 is 88. Six squared is 36. +80 plus 30 is 110. And 8 plus 6 is 14. So 110 plus 14 is 124. 124 is our answer.